Philadelphia, the birthplace of the USA, the cradle of revolution, a center for Black freedom. From spaces that celebrate liberation and cultural heritage.
The history is so rich with culture, with Black culture specifically. Yes. So it's one of the proudest things to me that we are on South Street.
To creatives who amplify marginalized voices.
I believe that children are living messages that we set to the future for a time that we will not see.
Music, the arts, and entrepreneurship are all being used to push for justice and equity in the city of brotherly love. Film director Sixx uses storytelling as a way to advance the people. Your whole film career was birthed in Philadelphia.
Yes.
You've produced, directed, really established multiple films, but you've also given back in other ways. Mentoring. Let's talk about that.
Man, you really hit a soft spot because I believe that children are living messages that we set to the future for a time that we will not see. That is something that my grandmother used to say. Right, and so every child that we pour into, every being that we pour into is a living message for a time that we will not see. So over 20 years ago, I started mentoring kids along with a friend of mine, and we knew giving back had to be authentically. I'm a child of the movement. My mother was, a Black Panther. She started the All African People's Revolutionary Party. Stokely Carmichael, A.K. Kwame Ture is my godfather. I was born into the movement. And so being a child of the movement, anything that we do, that we believe in, we're passionate about, we're ready to die for. And so I started mentoring kids to tell their stories through film. I never do a film without it having a meaning or a message. When I did Once Upon a Time in Philly, it wasn't just, this gangster film. It was about decisions. And then my second film, that was a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Philly Part 1, was about generational curses. What do we pass on to our children of the things that we do, the sins of the father that visit the son or the daughter? How can we break these generational curses? With my latest film, Jonesing, it is a spiritual successor to Love Jones for Black Gen Zs. Every love story deserves a legacy. What is real now in a digital age of dating and AI and, and all of these different things? People are still searching for what is real.
You've not just been a child of the movement, you've chosen to become part of the movement and continue the work. In the Urban League movement, we believe in that, giving back to our communities, giving back to the Black culture that has given us so much. Really excited to see Jonesing. And thank you for your other projects, because it's important for us. It's what we're trying to do with Justice Now. So important for us to tell our stories, for the people living in the communities and the cities across America, for Black people to talk about Black culture and their experience and not have somebody else lift up and shape what that narrative is.
That's right.
What advice do you have for young people, young filmmakers who are just getting started, trying to make their mark?
Tell your true, authentic story. Be very true to yourself, right? Do not go with the nuances. Keep telling your stories and tell them where it makes you scared.
Tell me a little bit more about that, about where it makes you scared.
Yeah, those stories that make you scared, those stories that are, deep in vulnerability. Like, I don't really want to talk about that. Those stories that are the pink elephant in every Black household, we just don't say nothing, we just let it. Tell those stories. Be authentic, because those are the ones that are going to challenge you and make you dig a little bit deeper.
In many ways, there are some that might say film is or can be political. Do you think it is?
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, it should be. Okay, tell me more about that.
Film is always political, right? Because you're telling the story from how you see things, right? And that's what makes it political. Whether it's the character that you pick in something that is not real, or whether it's the news that is shown, or who they interview on the news.
Choices, yeah.
Right. It's always political. It's always it's always about politics, and we have to be keen and aware of that. The minute that you don't know that is the minute that you have missed the entire, message or the narrative. What drives me, and I think what should drive anyone, is your passion, your love for what you would like to do. Whether it's advocacy, whether it's justice reform, whether it's filmmaking, whatever it is, you have to be able to find your why. That is the basis of everything. Why are you doing this?
What's your purpose?
What is your purpose, right? Because if you have no purpose behind that, it's going to become a chore. And no one likes to do chores. My mother told me that thoughts are things, and that everything that I think I can manifest. So I do it because it's magic. That the things that I think I watch come to fruition. And it becomes a domino effect on the people that I affect with it. That drives me. It's creation, it's legacy, that I'm actually thinking of this. And I'm birthing in an industry that doesn't appreciate Black filmmakers, man or woman. We say in our family, keep on keeping on. Doors don't slam open, so keep on keeping on.